Momentum. Momentum is shifting. Hermetic principle of rhythm. The season of stagnation is ending. God is starting the next season. Momentum is building. You might see the little signs in your everyday life, might not be so big, but momentum starts very slowly. Momentum is a real thing. Energetic momentum, spiritual momentum. Just like we see physical things either build, lose, gain momentum, well, our everyday lives actually follow this principle as well, energetically. And this momentum is beginning to build. And we're beginning to embrace this next phase that God is putting us in. Kerry, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I like that hippo guy. He's probably ready for this season change as well. We're gaining momentum and the next phase has begun. And the last phase of stagnation. Reflect on your everyday life. A lot of people have been experiencing this. That's why we're all experiencing this energy theme. As I read the comments, and you could leave comments as well. Have you been in a season of stagnation, a holding pattern, really, not really gaining any ground, being in the sludge, right? The car is stuck. You need to get it going, right? So this shift is happening right now. Everything has its seasons and cycles. Now, the next phase has begun. We gave everyone enough time to get on this live stream. Whether you're watching live right now or on the replay, could you kindly hit the like button right now? It will help others find this message either way. And if today's message resonates with you, please hit the subscribe button. Click the bell next to subscribe, select all, hit that notification bell and the all. You will get all of the notifications, even some of the past ones. When we post YouTube shorts, they will come up on your phone as well. So you really got to hit that bell. We have, if you enjoy this, a Patreon community, more live streams. We collaborate together on topics like this and many other things on Patreon. It's a time, a new season has begun, and we are gaining momentum. God has started this next phase, that last phase of stagnant energy, not moving forward, no progress, right? You move forward, then you go back and forth. And you could see this energy playing out. So we're kind of on that hamster wheel. We're not really moving forward. We're showing up. We're putting out a lot of energy, right? A lot of input energy to your work, but maybe not a lot of output energy. Energetic momentum is real. So in order to really get something started, you're going to have to use a lot of what's called activational energy to activate it. It takes a lot more energy to do this, to really get the ball rolling. And this happens in phases. I'll give you an example. When I first started this tremendous channel and community with my first few videos, it took a lot of energy to create such short videos. I really didn't know what I was doing. Check out my first video. If you're trying to start something new, you're afraid, don't worry about it. Just do it. But it takes a lot of input energy and you only get a small amount of output. You might not be sure what you're doing. You might be scared. Remember, that's why we want to rise up out of that pit of fear, guilt, and shame. And the higher we rise up the consciousness scale, then all of a sudden things start flowing. Think about pushing the boulder. There's this boulder at the top of the cliff, and you're pushing with all your might, and it starts to roll just a little bit and just a little bit more, and you're pushing and pushing, and then all of a sudden you pushed enough, and then it's just smooth sailing. Momentum is going you got to capitalize now. So, over this past season, there might have been a lot of effort, but not much results. This season it's important. God allowed this season to happen because it's actually helped to build strong muscles. Just like you might go into the gym and lift heavy weights to build strong muscles, well, we have to build strong spiritual muscles as well. All of the muscles. If you're new to this channel, we work on all 3 phases of life: physically, mentally, and spiritually. So when you put in all this effort and you're pushing against a heavy weight and you finally get it to go, now you've become, from all of this practice, from all of this training, you've become so much stronger in this world right now. Give you a little secret, light warriors. Life ain't ever gonna stop. Life ain't ever gonna stop. So the more that we are training, we got to train for life. And the more that we go through these seasons like this, it's strengthening us because life ain't ever going to stop. So the more that, you could be going smooth sailing and the car is rolling, and all of a sudden there's all this muddy road and the wheel gets stuck. Oh my God, I was going to be on time. You were going to be on time. You were rolling, kid. And you thought that you were going to be on time. But guess what? Linear time is fake. And there's only divine timing. There's only divine timing. So even though we might have had to slow down for a little bit of time, it is about the divine time, the story of your life, right, Christelle? The story of your life. Because if you came here for this mission, this work, you're doing the work, right? And again, let's not use the word work because it becomes a lifestyle. Are you here for self-improvement? Are you here for self-discovery? You want to learn about who you are? Sometimes life is going by so fast. It's going by so fast. We don't actually have time to analyze, who am I? So it's a time period to really, you go through this period, you slow down, you sit with it. I had a mentor, he used to say, sit with it. It's true. You sit with it, you sit with that energy, you sit with this situation, and then you start learning. You learn about the world, you learn about who you are, and you have to dive deep into learning the truth. It's the highest state of consciousness. So think about the highest state. I was just listening to someone talk about people that are trying to climb Mount Everest, and it takes like months. Like it could take up to 2 months to climb the mountain. I said, man, that's a lot of work there. You got to train for months before you get on that mountain. Then you start going up. So in order to reach the top, right? Follow the lesson here, right? In order to reach the top, a lot of people don't want to go all the way to the top. It's hard. Do you think it's easy to go to the top? Do you think it's easy to live in the vibration of authenticity? It's the highest state of consciousness above love. It's not easy going up there. You get to that point, right? The mountain, and then there's the clouds, and then there's more mountain above the clouds. So all those states of consciousness, you're going up, you reach love, right? That's the clouds, right? And then you go, the mountain top is peaking above the clouds. Now you got to go past that imaginary barrier, and then you just got to keep going up even higher. So it's not easy going all the way up to the top. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of discipline. Absolutely no days off. No days off. So this season that we have gone through, it has really helped to build strong muscles. God is now starting a new season. It's a new season. Everything has its seasons and cycles. So now we're starting a new season, a new cycle. Instantly, as the isolation season begins, so does sudden momentum. And we're gaining this momentum right now. You could feel it. You could sense it. You have to sense it energetically. A lot of the things that are happening, I'm seeing this right now. You could sit back, you're watching, you're observing, right? Tesla said, I am the observer. Start observing things clearly. And so you start observing, and you start seeing these little glitches, these things that aren't making sense. It's not all adding up within people, things, and situations. Before I came on, thank God it happened before I came on. Otherwise, it would have been. But see, again, it's helpful that you do it ahead of time. Before I came on this live stream, before I connected my device, it said there was no Wi-Fi. I've been sharing. We shared about this on our Patreon meetings. Head over to Patreon if you'd like to take part in those chats. I could not connect the device. I'm trying to get on. I said, there's no, you got the exclamation point next to the Wi-Fi for no reason. I had to turn it off, turn it back on, and then all of a sudden it connected. Why did this happen? Have you been doing that lately in your life? You have something that's happening and you're just left there going, that's what's going on. So I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing these glitches. This could be considered, right, maybe a not such a great thing. Now, God did it early. I'm just using this as an example. This situation happened early, happened before I came on. If it happened while I was on, then it would really be more of a devastation. It happened early, so it's just more like it's slowing me down, right? I took a few extra minutes to get on. It's a nuisance a little bit. I have to do maybe some extra work, but it happened before I came on. God did it early. Sometimes God removes negative people, things, or situations early on your journey. Because if you would have stayed there a little bit longer, if you would have went a little bit longer, then it would have been worse. So if that didn't happen, if it happened during the live stream, for example, it would have been worse. So we kind of get it out of the way, get these changes, reset, recalibrate. Now we got stronger connection. And so that's why these things happen early. I hope that is helpful for you on your journey. Think about that. Apply that. It's better it happens earlier than if it happened a little bit later, it would have been worse. If this is resonating with you, please kindly hit that like button right now. It will help others find this message. So instantly, things can shift. Things turn on a dime. And that's the energy, activational energy. Even like this tremendous sage from Harley Ray Crystal Shop, tremendous sage. You could see it's still a little burnt right now. But now that it's burnt, I could light the fire, and it can easily burn a little bit extra. It was still had a little bit of energy in there. But when I first pick up the sage and I light the lighter, it takes a while, more activational energy for it to start smoking. Now it's just it's smoking. But if I just held the flame to that sage, for that same, 4 seconds in the beginning, it's not enough. It's not enough to get it going. It's not enough to get the sage burning. We need a lot of sage. So we need these little shifts. We're in a time right now, and it happens rapidly. This sudden momentum is happening. It's going to happen to you. And you've been waiting, you've been sitting around, you've been waiting for these things. Why isn't it happening? And you're kind of used to it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it goes. And then you're like, oh, shift. We got to go now. And you start we got to go. We got to get going. We got to start. Now we're ready to go. We're unleashed. We're learning. We're teaching. We're working. We're doing all. It's flowing. It's going. That's that energy. It's like, oh, man, oh, we're ready. We're up next. We got to go. That's the vibe that we're getting. Instant. And you could see these things. If you're paying attention, it's the currency of the universe. I heard someone share about that. It's the currency of the universe. Pay attention. And a lot of people, they might not be paying attention. They're distracted. They're in the fear-based vibration. They might be in constant anxiety, curves and swerves, and you're not really paying attention to the bigger picture. Keep your eyes open. Observe. Tesla said, be the observer. Observe the changes. Energy is the ability to cause change. So we are experiencing massive change, massive shifts. When you sit back, and that's the point of the isolation period as well. If you missed that video on isolation, check that out. You sit back and now you're observing all these things. And you're like, I see it. Absolutely, Kerry, you have to sit with that energy. And you start to, not only is your physical timeline unraveling, now you have to sit there and you need to start unraveling all of the things that you experience. What did you experience? Life is coming at you fast right now. So we need to start unraveling all of the things. These are the things that happen. And now we start unraveling. This is what happened. And now we have a clearer picture. It's not so clear at first. We want to really capitalize on the momentum. When you feel it, when you experience it, when you observe it, you're like, oh man, we got to go now. And you got to go now. You got to go. Don't allow it to pass you by. Don't let evolution pass you by. Someone remembers that one. Don't allow it to pass you by. The time is now. And we're in this new season. The trajectory of your life can change exponentially. If you're sitting there and you feel like you might be down and out, if you're sitting there and you're feeling stagnant, we're not making any progress, it takes a jolt from God to change the entire trajectory of your everyday life. Yeah. Your entire life's trajectory can change overnight. So when things happen, when you go through these seasons, there's only one thing you got to do, light warriors. Don't give up. Just keep going. Showing up every day But for greatness, you're going to have to put in all your effort, all your might. But don't waste it. Don't waste it. Focus it when that momentum begins to build. It's building. Years ago, when I was teaching, I did this world famous demonstration for the class. And sometimes there is no possibility to cause the change. It's the energy that we are at that time. Metaphysical Mike, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you, Mike. Thank you. Very grateful for you, Mike. So I would do this demonstration to show the class. You have to know, you just know intuitively when to push with all your might. I was teaching the concept of work. And in science, for work to be accomplished, you must cause a change. And if there was no change, you did no work, regardless of the effort that you put into your task, whatever your task might be. If you caused no change, you did no work. So I would get up, I would walk over to the wall, and I said, Mr. D is going to push this whole wall down. He's going to push the building. And I start pushing against the wall as hard as I could. I'm sweating. I'm grunting. The whole class is laughing at me. I'm pushing the wall. I'm pushing the wall. And I'm like, oh. And then I go to one of the students and I said, can you get me a tissue? And she gets me a tissue and I wipe my head. I said, oh, that was a lot of work. And I go to the class and I said, which one of us today did work? And the answer was the student did work. I did nothing. My task was to push the wall. The wall never moved. But the student was able to change the position with ease by giving me the tissue. Sometimes we have to be strategic. We have to be smart with when and where we are placing our energy. If you think you're going to push a building, you could try it, but it doesn't matter how hard you push, how hard, if God says, stop pushing against that wall. Should have listened. No, it was a good demonstration though, right? And I hope that is helpful for all of you. Stop pushing against that wall. That wall is not moving. Sometimes we get into a relationship and regardless, there's never going to be a change. Sometimes we get into a job and regardless, there's never going to be a change. Sometimes we get into a situation and regardless, there's never going to be a change. Identify that you are wasting your life force energy and focus your attention elsewhere. This is a season of great change. This is a season of momentum. And now is the time that you become the person that you came here to be. And so it is. If you find this message interesting and you would like to learn more about our reality in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, why don't you click subscribe, give the video a like so it becomes visible to more people, and please share with one other person, because when we all share with one other person, we will rapidly grow our 5D community. I'm grateful for each and every one of you being here. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if today's message resonates with you, and hit that share button, that little arrow, that little curved arrow, and share this video with one of your friends. Share it on your social media walls or whatever it is that's going on out there right now, and get this word out to people. A lot of people, they feel stagnant right now. A lot of people, they might not be feeling like they're moving forward, but right now the momentum is picking up. The change is beginning. We're starting to roll forward. We're moving forward. Get on the ride. Here we go. We're blasting upward and onward to the fifth dimension. We're headed there right now. So I love each and every one of you. Head over to Patreon. We have a brand new video up on Patreon, another live stream on Friday. Check out Patreon. A lot of stuff, a great community there. Let's continue to build the community because collectively, we are greater than the sum of our parts. The trajectory of our everyday lives is changing right now. This reality is about to change, and it will never be the same again. Remember? Everything has its seasons and cycles. Let's learn the truth about ourselves, the world we live in, and let's start actually living. Let's start actually living. Yeah. Happens right now. It happens today. I love you all. We'll be back on tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Please leave a comment. Please like. Please share. Please head over to Patreon. Whatever you'd like to do in any form, it's very much appreciative. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow.